Hello, everybody. So we're supposed to talk about some things that happened at high school that changed our lives. And there are two things that I want to talk about that changed my life here. One was something I was caught at, and two was something I was counseled on. The caught at incident happened when Vice Principal, I think his name was Trout, walked into one of the boys' rooms, and a flask of vodka was floating in the air. This flask was just floating in the air. Except it wasn't really floating in the air, it was in my hand. And I wasn't invisible. I was kindly asked to leave the school for a few days and reflect. And I remember sitting at my kitchen table with my mother, and she was crying. And she was crying because she said, "Your dad got kicked out of school in 10th grade, and he struggled all his life. Please don't do that to me." And I thought to myself, I'm the son who makes his mother cry. Is that really what I want? Is that what I want to be? And I decided it wasn't. But I was still unfocused, I guess is the word. There were 298 kids in my class. I was number 270. I was one of the worst students in this school. I read nothing. I paid attention to nothing. I listened to no one. And one teacher helped me change that. Her name was Patricia Keene. Dr. Keene, I will never forget her. I had a habit of talking in class. She was my history teacher. We were arguing about the Vietnam War, and I was arguing with her about this. And she said, Bill, you seem to have a habit of talking to things about which you know nothing. The next day, she brought me in a book. And it was about the My Lai massacre, about this incident. And I read this book, and it told the story of this young Army prosecutor who went up against this big-time legal talent. And I thought to myself, that's who I want to be. I want to be this guy. I want to be this young guy fighting for what's right against forces that are a lot bigger than me. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a knight. And that's when I decided to be a lawyer. That's when I decided to go to law school. That one teacher told me what I needed to hear. That one teacher gave me a book that showed me the way. Years later, I remember I had a case that was making its way up to the United States Supreme Court. 9 months later, I'm in the hotel room the night before this oral argument with my fiancée at the time, and I'm practicing at 2 in the morning, and my brain goes blank. I remember nothing. I can't even remember my client's name. I start panicking. I don't sleep the rest of the night. 10 hours later, I'm standing in front of the Supreme Court. And here's Rehnquist, and here's Scalia, and here's Thomas, and here's Ginsburg. And I'm standing there thinking, okay, idiot, you wanted to be a knight. You wanted to be a lawyer. You wanted to stand up and fight for what's right against people more powerful than you. Here you are. And I remember, I don't know if it was a calmness that came over me after my initial panic when I looked up at them, but I started talking and everything was okay. And I realized then that all you need to do is to just do it. I needed focus. I needed a goal. I got that here from that teacher. And then I made a decision to go out and do it. And I wasn't supposed to do things that I did in my profession. I had zero appellate experience before I argued that case. but I did it anyway. So I guess my advice to you, for what it's worth, find a goal, figure out what you want to do, and then just go out and do it. Whether people tell you to do it, tell you not to do it, if you know what you want to do, Nike was right. Just do it. Thank you.